Hey guys, it's Chris back here with Prestige Auto. Today we've got this 2005 Ford F-150 in the garage. We're going to be jacking it up and getting the wheel off. It's got a roaring coming from the wheel bearing. So we're going to get our tools together and I'll show you how to change it. Okay guys, we have got it jacked up and got some jack stands under here to support it. A dead giveaway that your wheel bearing is bad is this. Your wheel should not do that. So usually if you grab it from the top and the bottom and wiggle it in and out, if there's any play, it's a wheel bearing. It's accompanied by some roaring sounds, some other stuff. Usually if you turn left or right, you'll hear it more one way or the other. But this is definitely not good. So we've got it jacked up. You want to take a flathead screwdriver, and there's a little spot right here so you can pop off this center cap. Just kind of stick it in there and twist it. Just kind of follow it around and get it all the way off. Come on. Boom, got it off. Set it out to the side. So I'm going to use my air ratchet to take this off. This is a 21mm socket. So let's take these off. Alright, we're getting in there guys. It's getting a little dirty, so I'm going to change my hat. Okay, good. This is my working hat. Alright guys, so we got most of the tools together that we're going to need for this job, at least to get that hub off. We're probably missing a few things, but we'll pick them up along the way. Mainly some of the sockets we're going to use. We're going to use a 24. We're going to use a 21. We're going to use an 18. An 8, some extensions, some ratchets, a hammer, some needle nose, big air ratchet, some gloves. Those are optional, but let's go ahead and tear into it. I went ahead and sprayed some PB Blaster on most of these stuff. We're going to take off this upper ball joint. I think that one was the 24. We're going to take off the lower ball joint. We're going to take off the tie rod end. We've also got to take off the brake caliper. So there's going to be a nut right here, and there's one down on the bottom. If you'll just look down on the bottom, you'll find it. That's most of it. We're going to have to take our needle nose and pull this little clip out, take off this nut, but that'll come later on. Okay, we're going to start taking that stuff off now. Boom, we got it off, guys. Man, that thing is heavy as heck. So what I recommend is when you're doing the upper and the lower ball joint, I loosened the lower one all the way, but I left it on a couple threads. And then so I banged the top one with the hammer until it broke free. Then I banged the bottom one with a hammer until it broke free, but it didn't slam to the ground because I left the nut threaded on a little bit. So once it dropped down, I was able to unscrew that, take it all the way down. Some things I did was I took that brake caliper and I've got it strapped up in there so it doesn't fall. I've got on the back of this, there was your ABS sensor or your wheel speed sensor. Was it? Yeah, 8mm in the back of this right there. It was the ABS sensor or the wheel speed sensor. It just slides in there. Anyways, it's attached with this group of wires that goes to the caliper, so I just strapped it up in there. Also, the tie rod end was kind of flopping around in the way, so I bungeed it up there too. Now it's all open. We've got this piece off. We're going to get it over to the workbench and figure out how to get that wheel bearing out of there. This is a press-in one, so it's going to be a B. Let's go. Okay, guys. So we got this off and we've got it over here. We're going to take out this little pin here in the middle. Just take you some needle nose pliers, bend them in. Pull it out. Most of the time they're pretty easy, depends on the fella that put it in before you got there. There we go, got it out. Okay. And we got this little cover here is going to come off. We need to get a socket to fit this. Let's go see what it is. Okay, so there's two ways to do this. You can take off this center nut right here that was on that whole hub. It's a 36mm. So we take that off and then you beat the heck out of it and get it off of that spindle. Then you get a press-in bearing and you take all this junk out. You see it's all shredded in there. You'll take all that out and you press in the new bearing. Or the easy way to do it is if you just buy a new rotor. Get a whole new rotor for the truck. It was like maybe $30 more than the bearing that I was going to have to press in and fight in. 30 more bucks got me the new rotor. Has, oh, that thing's heavy. Okay, we'll put it back down. That thing has the bearing already pressed into it, ready to go. We'll just slide it onto the spindle, tighten it down. Now, for this center nut that goes in there, it says on it, do not reuse. So we picked up another one of those at AutoZone too. See, it says do not reuse on there. This is the new one. So we're going to slide this over that spindle, put on the new nut, put this cover back on it, and slip in that that little pin that we took out. This little pin right here, it'll go through there. So I've already beat that thing off there and got it off the spindle and put the assembly back on. We've already got it back on in there. Put everything back together, the tie rod end, the upper ball joint, the lower ball joint. We left the brake caliper off because we're going to have to put this rotor back on. So you see this right here, that's going to slide over the new rotor. And then let's do it. Alright guys, so we're back over here. We went ahead and put all this back on. I took it off just to show you guys the process that you were going to have to go through if you were to press in the bearing. If it were me, I would just buy the whole new rotor. It's a little bit more expensive, not much, maybe 30 more bucks. It's already built in, and it's much easier. You wouldn't have had to take none of that crap off. You would just take off that 36mm, slide off the rotor, slide on the new one. Oh, got the wrong grease. Here, back with the grease. what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this grease and I'm just going to put it around that shaft right there. It'll help the new bearing slide on. It'll keep it lubed up so we don't get any grinding sounds in there. All right. Okay, so let's get our gloves back on. Get this picked up, and we're just going to slide it on to the shaft. Just like that. It's on there. We're going to take our new nut, clean off the threads. And we'll tighten that down. I like to use my air ratchet. Again, it's a 36 millimeter. Now, before we put the caliper back on, it's going to be a little tight putting the caliper back on because this new rotor is thicker than the last one. So I've got this little tool here. It compresses the brake pads in a little bit so we'll have room to fit. If you don't got one of these little tools, you can go pick it up at Harbor Freight for about $5. If not, you can use some C-clamps. I use C-clamps most of the time, but I picked this tool up. Thought I'd give it a try. It works really good. So we got that compressed in. I'm going to back it off now. Put that brake pad back in there. And then we're going to bolt that thing back up. You can see this wheel speed sensor hanging right here. We're going to put that in the back side of it and bolt it up too. Okay guys, so we're pretty much done. I showed you both ways to change out that wheel bearing. I didn't show you the process of pressing it out and pressing it in. That's tough. I would totally recommend just getting the rotor with it built in already. Makes it a lot easier. You just take off that middle nut, slide off the rotor, put on the new one, put the nut back on. You will have to take off your brake caliper, but that's no big deal. So we've got it all wrapped up. We're going to put this wheel back on and lower it back down. And I think we've got this job wrapped up. Thanks for watching, guys.